smells so good in the kitchen right now. We've got a potluck dinner recipe that sounds so good. It always seems to bring out the best in home cooks. That's the idea behind Nancy Vienneau's cookbook, Third Thursday Community Potluck. And her shepherd's pie is just one of the fabulous recipes that's included. So glad you're back with us on Talk of the Town.
Thank you. I'm so happy to come back.
And this looks delicious.
Yes. There's 3 parts to this recipe. It's a wonderful, rich, rib-sticking recipe for the fall. And I marinated and browned some chuck roast, and we're going to put it back in the pot, but I'm going to ask you to put a little flour on here, because what we're going to do now is get our gravy going, and we're going to kind of stir the flour into...
Can I hold this for you while you stir? Would that be easier?
Yeah, we'll get that to coat the meat.
And this recipe takes a little longer than your average recipe, but it's well worth the time.
I think so. I think so. All right, we've got that in there, and let's put it right back in this sizzling pot. In here, I saved all of the drippings from our beef, and that's going to give the foundation. If you want to, you can stir that up.
I'd be happy to.
For me.
And these things are going in as well?
Yes, we're going to put in celery leaves and parsley.
That's one thing that you can do with celery leaves. A lot of people just toss those.
Just a little.
Oh, we're not doing the whole thing. Just going to.
That's right. Just
put in a little bit.
Little sprinkle.
Okay.
And.
All right, now I'm going to stir for you.
Okay. Then we're going to pour water in to cover, and you can kind of see that already it's going to be picking up all of those browned on bits that we cooked in, and get the foundation for a wonderful, wonderful gravy. And that little bit of flour will help it thicken up.
And what you're seeing in the pot here is actually half of the recipe that you'll get online and that you'll be making at home. So this will serve about 15 people.
The whole recipe will, yeah.
Yeah, so perfect for potluck.
Exactly, but we've scaled it back by half.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to let this cook along.
Okay. Before we put these vegetables in, tell us about all of these, because these look terrific.
We've got root vegetables. We've got carrots, parsnips, and onions, and they all can roast together. They all roast at about the same time in a hot oven with just a little bit of salt and pepper and olive oil, to sort of bring out their natural sweetness, their caramel flavors.
Okay.
And then we're going to...
For somebody who's never been brave enough to try a parsnip before, describe what they taste like.
I think that actually once you taste them, you'll like them better than carrots. They're a little... they have a little bit different texture, but they have a wonderful carrot-like sweetness and a little bit like potato in a way.
Kind of a cross between a carrot and potato.
And they've kind of made a big comeback. They fell out of favor maybe a long time ago, but people are interested in them. We're going to stir this all up together. And this is the kind of thing that would simmer for, you know, an hour or so that beef will get really nice and tender.
And you've already mixed up the mashed potatoes.
Yes. This is something that you'll do ahead of time, but I've whipped them up, and I've got salt and pepper and fresh chives in them. And if you had a pastry bag, you could put that in and pipe it on the top. We're just going to kind of spoon this over the top.
And how long will this bake in the oven?
We'll put it in a hot oven and let it bake for 30 minutes. And the top will get all beautiful and golden brown and a little bit puffed.
It looks fantastic. And I tell you what, when you pull it out of the oven, it's going to look like that. It looks absolutely delicious, and I know we can't wait to tear into it. Nancy, thanks so much for sharing this recipe with us.
My pleasure.
I think we're going to love it. This is recipe number 5258. It's online now in the Talk of the Town section at newschannel5.com. We're also going to link you to Nancy's website, nancyvienneau.com, for more of the Third Thursday Community Potluck Cookbook ideas. I think you're going to love that as well.